you didn't notice, your girl's all dressed up. It's my birthday episode, and you already know we go big, right? So today we're going to be celebrating by flowering some of my accomplished friends. And our first guest is an actor, author, speaker, and momager. I can relate. She's actually the momager to Summer Rose, the voice of Alma from award-winning PBS kids show Alma's Way. She is the creative director at Lion Chaser Media Partner with her husband Zalo. She's actually most noted for her role as Eva in the hit classic movie Freedom Riders. Her career on screen has landed her on shows such as Law & Order SVU, Dexter, Person of Interest, Elementary, Nurse Jackie, and many, many more. She is a public speaker spreading her message of hope, love, forgiveness, and understanding that has offered her the opportunity of a TEDx talk. And here now to share more, we welcome back my dear friend, actor, author, speaker, momager, and Lion Chaser Media Creative Director, April Hernandez-Castillo.
Wow. I'm impressed that you can say that in one breath.
I'm impressed that I can even have the privilege to share that with our viewers.
Absolutely.
And I mean that, de corazón.
I'm trying to contain my energy because, the both of us on camera, we could just take over.
Yeah.
But I love you. And happy, happy birthday, darling.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, baby.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
Thank you for remaining in my space. Thank you for sharing in our growth.
Right. How long has it been?
I live in denial, so I don't be giving out numbers like that.
This is true. But I have 2 kids.
Yeah, you now have 2 kids.
I now have 2 kids.
When we first became friends, you had no kids. I had just had Charm.
Right.
All right, so that's giving up some time.
And that's when I had abs. You know what I'm saying?
That's when you had abs?
Abs. I don't know where they are now, but it's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
We can control the body temperature.
Oh, Lord.
Right? That
yes,
too.
I know.
Amazing. That was definitely a giveaway. But we're going to move on from that, and we're going to talk about how far you've come in spite of your major role and your primary occupation being a mom.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things where no one prepares you, especially when we've been in this business. When you're an actor, all you think about is acting, and that is all. There's nothing else that comes with it. But now being on the other side and managing, my husband and I managing Summer Rose, it's been a whole different experience. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay, I see how this is, and she's been successful at 10, 11 years old. So I'm very proud.
Yeah, you should be. I mean, she's the voice of Alma.
Yes.
And they've won, the second Imagen Award?
They recently,
well, she won last year,
She won, yes, she won for Best Voiceover Actor. So that was amazing because we got to go to California, and it was during her birthday. So that was a great way to bring in the 10-year-old and 10 years old. And then this year they just won again. So the show is a hit. It's been amazing.
It's lovely, and we're proud of it. I know
Right.
there's a Bronx representation in there. Sonia Manzano, the iconic Sonia Manzano,
She's pretty
I
iconic.
should say.
She's pretty iconic.
She's iconic.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who she is, she was the Maria in Sesame Street.
Right.
I mean, she's done a lot of things since, but she's the creative, I think the creative director and executive producer.
Created it. Yes,
right?
she did. Yeah, it was one of those things where when you're in her presence, though, you really do feel like she's one of your tias. You know, that you're just like, oh my gosh, I love you, thank you. But when we were growing up, she was one of the only women that we saw who was just this beautiful Latina woman, and it was so
that
endearing.
we could relate to.
Oh, absolutely, right? And then her name is Maria. Like, you don't get more Puerto Rican than that.
Right, exactly.
More Latina than that. And so I just remember the first time we had dinner with her, and I was trying to be cool.
Right.
But I'm girl fanning.
Yeah.
And Summer's like, Mom, that's Sonia. And I was like, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I'm losing it, but And so it's just been amazing to see how it's come full circle.
It is amazing, and what's amazing is how you're able to juggle, right? So we're just talking about Summer's career right now. We haven't even tapped into
Right.
your speaking engagements, your TEDx talk,
Right.
your book. I didn't even introduce your book, Embracing Me, which I own and I
Yes.
read, and
Yes.
and I know that it's still out there and available for anybody interested. And then there's the Lion Chaser
Right.
films with your husband.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're doing it all. Lion Chaser Media. When I wrote the book, it was during the pandemic, because that's what you do. You know, you write a book during the pandemic when the whole world stopped.
Right.
But also just being to say like, oh, I've written a second book, and not many people even get to the first one. So it's something I'm very proud of, and I love writing and creating. And obviously, we are a creative family, so that's important.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about, right? So it's kind of like who gets the attention this week and who gets the attention this hour, because you have to kind of like give it to each other, don't you?
Right.
And you have to be okay with like, okay, it's your turn now.
Right. Yeah. There is no balance.
Right.
I hate when people ask me, so how do you balance
Right.
it? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't. I just prioritize, and I try to figure out what works and who needs what.
Right.
Now that the strike is finally over, auditions are coming in. Last night, I just put myself on tape, and I was having a mini panic attack because I was like, oh, right, I have to do this as well.
Right.
So not only am I coaching myself, but I coach Summer Rose.
Right.
So it's a lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee, and then
Wine.
you have a second child too, which we're
And then I have another daughter, yes, Lila.
Lila. Sorry, I messed that up.
Right.
But Lila is younger than Summer Rose. So.
Yes, she's 6 years old. So thank God she understands now. So when I have an audition, it's not this panic that she's gonna make noise. Actually, she'll be behind the camera saying, "Mommy, action." So she's loving it, and I'm like, "Yes, girl.
How
You're
cool
gonna
is
be
that,
my
though?
assistant soon."
You know,
Yeah,
but
you
how
know.
cool is that? The whole family is being raised in the business.
Yeah, I think if you would have, when I wanted to, well, I actually didn't, I was terrified to have children. But I remember asking my manager at the time, I said, what do you think? And she said, April, it's never going to be a right time. You just got to do it. If you would have told me, 10, 12 years later that this would be happening, I would have never even like been able to see it that far.
The beauty of what you have done, and I'm telling you as a sister who's been watching you develop, and not only that, just flex and adapt to whatever presents itself, right?
Right.
You had one child, I was there for you. We had our sessions.
Oh, yes.
And then when the
yes.
second one, it was like, boom! You were like, Rhina.
Yeah, it's happening. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like you literally feel like you're never going to get to that end of the point of your life sort of feeling normal. And I think for women who are thinking about, that they have a business and how do I do this, it's literally just doing it. Sometimes you're going to have a strategic plan. Sometimes you're going to have everything. And then sometimes you're just going to have that idea. And I just always tell women, just do it. Don't think about it. Everything else will follow, whatever it is that you need. And as a mompreneur, and my husband and I, we run our media company, it's one of those things where you're just like, we're just figuring it out along the way, and we're building it, and also using your circle of influence, which is absolutely important.
Right. I mean, right now you guys are capturing some pretty high-profile individuals.
Yeah.
You're, I want to say you're doing a documentary with Joe Conzo
We are
Jr.
shooting a documentary on Joe Conzo, the famous, legendary photographer, activist, Joe Conzo, and it's been amazing, and we really can't wait for the world to see it.
And so these packages that you offer are like for lifestyle, right? The
Right.
way that
So
you're doing for the high profile.
with Lion Chaser Media, we do photography. We do we create content for companies, influencers, and mini docs. And I think we're actually going to be working with you, my friend.
You're going to be working with
and we're
me.
going to be working with Rhina Valentin. So I'm super excited. We want to gift you. Of course, you have been a staple. You have been a staple in the Bronx, but for everything that you do for us as Latinos, you've given so many people the platform that someone else would never even look at. And so we appreciate, and so we want to bless you with a fabulous lifestyle photo shoot, darling. You know.
I'm all excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Oh, you got to see what they do.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think now more and more people are getting to know who and what we do.
Right.
And the level of people that we have been working with, it's been amazing. It really has been.
And now I get to join that roster.
Now you're going to be on the roster.
I
Now
mean,
you're
you
gonna
can
have
mention
some.
some of the names if you like.
I mean, I don't want to name drop, but if you know, we were just with Ted Smooth. If you don't know who he is, we were just shooting Marisol Castro. Shout out, which I found out she was from the Bronx. Shout out, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Andrea Navedo, who was on Jane the Virgin,
Yes,
and
who now has a book.
who now has a book as well. And so it's been amazing to see all of us coming together. And we're all from the Bronx. I mean, other than Ted Smooth, but it's been amazing.
I'm not from the Bronx. I rep the Bronx, but you
No,
know,
you rep the Bronx
I'm a
hard.
bi-borough
You
babe.
are.
That's what I consider myself, a bi-borough babe. So thank you for embracing me
Of
as
course.
your own.
Yes,
And taking
absolutely.
me on. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be part of that roster. Hello.
I'm excited. I'm
Lion
excited.
Chaser Media.
Yes.
Oh gosh, and we're going to have you back on with Zalo.
Yeah, and we're gonna videotape and record everything. Did I say videotape? Do no?
I don't know. We're
We'll
dating
capture.
ourselves.
we'll capture the entire experience. I love you. Thank you.
I love you, my
Absolutely.
sister. April Hernandez-Castillo, everyone. Woo! So proud of her. So proud. I hope you guys are too. Once again, she's actor, author, speaker, momager, Lion Chaser Media creative director. And if you're interested in learning more about April and or even bringing her on to speak, you can visit aprilhernandezspeaks.com. All right, stay tuned. There's more open when we return.